Robert Greene's fourth law reminds us that words can hold a special kind of power, but only when we know how to control them. Instead of feeling forced to speak at every chance or fill the air with endless chatter, this law encourages us to practice restraint. When we speak too much, we risk saying something that reveals our weaknesses or ends up sounding empty. The moment we share every thought, we lose the advantage of mystery and people start to predict our moves. By being more careful with our words, we show that we value what we say and others will notice the weight of our silence. Being quiet does not mean we have nothing to offer. It signals that our words matter because we do not waste them. It can also help us avoid trouble when a conversation becomes heated, or when others are looking for an excuse to twist our words. In these moments, saying less can be a shield, keeping us safe from arguments we did not start and from traps we did not see coming. Speaking carefully also makes it easier to listen. When we are not busy planning what to say next, we become more aware of what others reveal, sometimes without even knowing it themselves. This awareness can give us clues about their true motives or hidden concerns. We learn to observe their tone and body language, and those observations can guide our next move far better than if we were talking over them. People often let their guard down when they think we are not paying attention, so staying quiet can help us see what lies behind their words. The gift of silence is that it allows us to collect information, and it builds a sense of calm around us. Others may feel a bit uneasy about our silence, but that unease keeps them wondering. It is not about making others feel less important. It is about using our words when they truly matter, which amplifies their impact. One thing to remember is that saying less than necessary does not mean being cold or distant. We still need to engage in friendly conversations and be genuine with people. Rather, it means avoiding the habit of oversharing or speaking without thinking. Sometimes we talk more to fill awkward pauses or because we worry silence is rude. But when we do this, we risk giving away our plans, our fears, or our lack of understanding. If we observe people who handle conversations with ease, they often say only as much as they need to, and they let the other person speak freely. This practice works in business, personal relationships, or any setting where trust and respect matter. It is about keeping control of what we reveal so we remain confident and consistent in how we present ourselves to others. This law connects with a universal truth. People want to feel heard and understood. By speaking less, we offer others the chance to express themselves more fully. In return, we learn what they care about and how they think. This can help build stronger bonds because people feel valued when they can share their stories without interruption. By the time we do speak, we have a clearer sense of where the other person stands. That knowledge can make our own words more convincing, our statements hit the right points, and our questions feel more thoughtful. We can also prevent confusion by speaking with precision, not piling on extra details that cloud our message. There's a big difference between silence that feels tense and silence that feels calm and reflective. We should aim for the latter, the kind that shows we are thinking carefully. The fear some people have is that if they do not talk enough, they may seem boring or uninterested. But the opposite is often true. Imagine being at a gathering where one person chats nonstop, telling the same stories, and another person only speaks when they have something meaningful to add. Often we become more curious about the quieter individual. We start to wonder what they think or what they have experienced. That curiosity makes people pay more attention when the quiet person finally decides to speak. By choosing our words wisely, we become more memorable. We also avoid the risk of saying something that could undermine our standing or reveal secrets best kept in our own minds. The force of silence, paired with timely comments, can give us a natural sense of authority. It shows that we are not desperate for validation, and it becomes a subtle display of confidence. However, we have to be careful not to take this law to an extreme. Remaining silent all the time can make us appear disengaged or even rude in certain social settings. Balance is key. We should always read the room and notice if the conversation needs us to be more active or if it is safer and smarter to hold back. Some people might try to fill our silence with assumptions that may not be true. So if we never clarify or respond, it can cause misunderstandings. The goal is not to shut people out, but to avoid the kind of mindless talk that drains our energy and reveals our vulnerabilities. Sometimes we can add humor or kindness in a few words that shift the mood in our favor. The strength of this law is in the skill of measured communication, not in never speaking at all. Practical examples can show us how this works in the real world. Think about high-stakes negotiations. A skilled negotiator may ask a question, then remain silent. That silence puts subtle pressure on the other side to fill the gap. In doing so, they might reveal their bottom line or true intentions. By saying less, the negotiator gains insight without giving away their own position. In everyday life, if we are upset about something, waiting a few moments before replying to a text or speaking our mind can save us from saying harsh things we might regret. Those extra moments of silence allow us to pick our words carefully and hold on to the respect we have worked hard to earn. Even in personal relationships, carefully measured words can help us solve problems by being clear and honest without accusing the other person. When we talk too freely while angry or stressed, we often pour fuel on the fire. Over time, saying less can help shape our character. We become more aware of our thoughts and learn to pick which ones deserve to be spoken aloud. In this way, we become more disciplined, and that discipline can spread into other parts of our life. We make fewer careless mistakes because we slow down and reflect instead of rushing into actions fueled by nervous energy or frustration. We also learn that not every thought or feeling must be shared. Some things are better kept private, at least until we have had time to process them. This approach keeps us from being the source of rumors or gossip because we have trained ourselves not to talk just for the sake of talking. It also gives us an edge in environments where people compete for attention, as our silence can stand out in a sea of needless words. The biggest challenge for many is the discomfort that comes with silence. We often feel the need to keep the conversation moving, worried that quiet moments are awkward. But once we get comfortable with short pauses, we can use them to gather our thoughts. Others might squirm in the silence, revealing more about themselves. We can then step in with a measured response, guiding the conversation in a way that benefits everyone or keeps us out of harm's way. This approach does not have to be manipulative. It can simply be a way of being more aware and careful about how we share ourselves with the world. Confidence grows from knowing that our words hold value. It is not about shutting down communication, but about making it more meaningful. Robert Greene's advice stands on a simple idea. We lose little by holding back our words, but we can lose a lot by letting them spill out carelessly. When we make it our habit to say less than necessary, we invite people to see us as thoughtful, in control, and possibly holding more wisdom than we let on. The law reminds us that we do not have to let our feelings and thoughts rule us. By practicing silence, we can shape how others perceive us and steer conversations in a direction that serves us better. Over time, we might find that fewer words carry greater impact, and we become known for speaking with purpose rather than just speaking to fill space. This is why the power of silence continues to be a timeless piece of guidance, one that can help us protect our reputation, gather insights, and come across with more authenticity.